Nancy Pelosi is on a trip to the United Kingdom. Please keep her. She's yours. I know you like really old ladies to be in charge of things in your country. I mean, sure, yours isn't bat crap crazy, but can you take this one too? Anyway, Nancy Pelosi, she was on a trip to the United Kingdom. She was in Cambridge. And this is what she said about China.
We've always felt connected to China. But with their military aggression in the South China Sea,
Listen to
with
this.
their continuation of genocide with the Uyghurs in Xinjiang province.
Stop. Is that news to you, Stu? Have you ever heard the United States of America, a big elected official, a Speaker of the House or above, say that China is continuing the genocide on the Uyghurs? Have you heard that?
I mean, the fact that they're doing it is not news to me.
It's not news.
But as pretty close to an official statement of U.S. policy.
Correct.
It's notable.
Or at least what we know.
We've been critical of them, but we don't. I mean,
Why is the
we're still talking about like the 1917 genocide and whether we should call it genocide.
Correct. In Turkey.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me ask you this. Why does the United States get such a bad rap with so many historians on the genocide of the Jews in Germany?
We didn't act fast enough.
But what is the excuse on the other side? One, by the way, I don't believe. But what is the excuse on the other side?
We didn't know.
We didn't know
it was
for
that
sure.
bad. We knew Germany was bad, but we didn't know what the extent of what they were doing.
And the better excuse, it's still a bad excuse, but the better excuse is that FDR, when he found out, he said, the way to make it stop is to stop Germany. Don't defer any of our resources away from defeating Hitler and killing and cutting the head off the Nazi regime. That will end the genocide for the Jews, okay? That's the best excuse I've heard, but it's still an excuse. We knew, and FDR did nothing about it. What a surprise. Another Democratic icon. So he did nothing about it. It's a horror show. The world then said genocide must never happen again. It is in a separate category. You can have gulags, you can have torture chambers, but genocide, state-sponsored genocide, is in a separate category.
Really, the single worst thing a country can do, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm trying to think if there's anything on that level, but like that would be the ultimate crime you would accuse a country of.
It would be like saying, my son, he didn't take out the garbage this morning. He doesn't clean his room. He's late with his math paper. He commits genocide. And he also is, late for a meeting that he had, at church. Wait, one of those things is a lot bigger. So this is what she did with the military aggression in the South China Sea, with the continuation of genocide with the Uyghurs in the Xinjiang province, with the violation of the cultural and religious priorities of Tibet. They don't pick up their socks. Okay?
I mean, those are bad things.
Those are all bad things, but it's...
Genocide is genocide.
Genocide is in a... Okay, so now we have Nancy Pelosi admitting the United States of America knows that they're not only committing it, they're continuing to commit it, which means we've known for a while. And what does she say? She goes on to say, yes, they're committing genocide against the Uyghurs. But having said that, I'm quoting, the overriding issue is working together on climate change.
Oh, my God. Would we have worked with Hitler on climate change? Would we have worked with Hitler on developing the bomb? Would we have worked with Hitler on developing the Autobahn? Would we have
worked with Hitler on his socialized medicine? Would we have worked with Hitler on any of his National Socialist ideas? The answer is no. No. When you're committing genocide, no. Okay. She said, we have to work together on climate because climate is the overriding issue. The overriding issue. There is no way to describe this mindset that, yes, they are killing an entire group of people because of their ethnicity or religion. They are systematically rounding them up, using them for slave labor, and killing them, using their organs and selling them on the open market. They are nothing more than cattle. For us to recognize it and do nothing about it is one thing. But to say we recognize it, but we have bigger things to talk to them about, is a horror show. Now, there's point one. Remember, what I want to talk to you about is we will become the worst plague on human life ever if we let our country go to the dark side. We will make the Nazis look like rookies. First step, we know they're systematically killing a group of people, but we have bigger priorities. Climate change. Okay, next one. We are not going to leave anyone behind. We won't leave anyone behind. We'll make sure every American gets out. There's maybe 46 Americans left now. Bullcrap. I have hundreds of Americans, hundreds that are still waiting to get out, and I cannot get the State Department to even admit it. And when they give us permission to fly our airplanes, they are too late because the paperwork that they gave us that they insist we must have, somehow or another they only deliver it to us an hour after it's expired. It is evil. What is happening? It is evil. They are dehumanizing American citizens. They don't count. Why? Because of politics. Next story. Biden has just said the administration needs to cut back on the shipments of a highly effective therapy for COVID-19. It is called monoclonal antibodies. It is a bogus antibody. It is a made antibody. Instead of giving you a part of the disease, this is giving you a fake antibody that kills the disease. So instead of having a vaccine, this seems like it could be a lot better. Nevertheless, it works. It works. They're cutting back the therapy and not sending them to red states. Now they're saying because the red states are just using too much. Using too much? Can you tell me the states where they can't get it? Let's make sure the doses are not, in their own words, part of an effort to make sure there is medical equity. I'm sorry, we can't help those poor hurricane victims because we've helped so many hurricane victims in America lately. We got to go find those hurricane victims that might need our help in the future in England. What? Put the medicine where the medicine is needed. And by the way, this is something I guess we could argue about if all of a sudden Seattle needs all of this monoclonal antibody work, if all of a sudden Seattle needs it, I guess we can say, okay, so where does it go? But for a government that doesn't care what bridge they cross, what constitutional rule that we have that they throw out of the window and say, we'll make these companies make more of it. Instead of that, oh, no, we can't make more of it. We just have to make sure that Texas and Florida don't get it. This is from the people who are on television every night saying that doctors should refuse medical treatment for anybody who doesn't get the vaccine. I want to give you a poll on what is the biggest threat to a nation, to our nation. Here's what people who vote for the GOP said was the biggest threat to our nation in order. The Taliban, defund the police activists, China, and then everything else is in half. Top three. Here is what independents say is the biggest problem. The Taliban, China, then defund the police. That's what independents say. What do Democrats say? Now, by the way, the number one for the GOP is at 66%. Number two is 62, then 58. Independents, 46, 45, and then 36 for the top three. Here's the Democrats. The Democrats, the number one threat to America, Donald Trump supporters. The number two threat to America is unvaccinated Americans. Then you drop 12 points to number three, which is the Taliban. Democrats at about 60% say that a Donald Trump supporter is more dangerous than the Taliban. They are saying that someone who refuses to get the vaccine is more dangerous than China or the Taliban. If you continue to dehumanize half of the population and say, because they believe they have a right to say, no, I'm not comfortable with this. And let me just let you know, if you would have taken Donald Trump up on his offer, which he has offered several times, let me be a spokesperson. I'll talk to the right. Let me go do commercials for you that says, hey, guys, you got to take it. I've taken it. It's not so bad. If you would have come to us and said, how do we talk to people? You might have been able to get some of these things done. For instance, you got to go to companies and force them. Nope, not going to do it. Not going to do it. However, if the government wants to pay for the simple test that you take once a week, it's non-invasive, it's no big deal, and they want to make those available for companies, and they come and say, hey, would you do this? And they hadn't have been so damn creepy and weird on everything from the beginning and shut down any kind of information that disagrees with their political narrative. Here's what I want you to know. They don't care about people living or dying. They don't care, because we see it in Afghanistan. They don't care. They don't care about people who are going to get COVID. They don't care, or they would make every option available, and they would have followed their own research that was done a year and a half ago. How do we convince people? In the government's own research, it says don't do these things, and that's what the Biden administration has focused on. They are intentionally irritating, intentionally poking. They want you to strike out. God help us if anybody does. They want you to do it because they are preparing to eliminate the problem. If you believe that genocide we need to tolerate because we have bigger issues, if you believe I as a doctor can say, oh, you don't agree with what I say is true, I'm not going to give you any treatment. Mark my words. If we don't stop this path now and start standing up together in love, in peace, in harmony, and find those people that didn't vote the same way but believe in the same principles, we will make the Nazis look like rookies.